You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Dijak and you are checking out our NXT Roadblock 2024 official recap. Roadblock was huge. We saw a big return, a lot of action, a great night for NXT. So let's dive right into it. We have Lexis King starting out the show, introducing us to Roadblock. And our first match of the night is a special Asylum match between Joe Gacy and Dijak. A lot of action here. We see a moment where Dijak lands a moonsault off the cage, get a 2 count. Gacy pushes Dijak through a table, and then Dijak tapes Gacy's eyes and hits Gacy with kendo stick shots. And the end comes after Dijak lands a feast your eyes twice on Gacy to get the win. Great action here between these two, and Dijak looked great. Joe Gacy keeps giving me Mankind vibes, and I'm really enjoying this. Next, the tag champions Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin defeat Chase U after Corbin nails a deep six to Chase, and Breakker lands a spear to get a victory over Chase U. Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker are still tag champions. Interesting to see Bron continue to hold on to the title now that Bron is officially on SmackDown. Next, we have the return of Shawn Spears taking on Uriah Connors, and Shawn gets the win after a C4. After the match, Shawn Spears gets on the mic. Shawn says, "It takes a certain man who can put a mirror to reality. Ridge Holland, you are a hypocrite. You're not doing it for your family. Every time I hold a mirror up to my face, I'm not ashamed. You can't say the same." Ridge Holland comes out and attacks Shawn Spears. Spears tosses him a chair and tells Ridge to hit him with it. Ridge grabs it, but referees stop him from hitting Shawn Spears. Does it look like Shawn Spears is trying to almost recruit Ridge Holland to join him? We'll see. We then get an interview with the NXT champion Ilya Dragunov backstage. Next, the WWE Women's Tag Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, defend against NXT Women's Champion Lyra, Valkyria, and Tatum Paxley. And in a decent tag match, the Kabuki Warriors get a win after Lyra accidentally kicks Paxley, and Asuka and Kairi Sane nail an insane elbow, and the Kabuki Warriors retain. After the match, Roxanne Perez turns up and attacks Lyra. She tosses Lyra into the ring post and stomps on Lyra's arm. And it seems that Roxanne Perez has turned heel finally. It'll be interesting to see her in action. After that situation, Lyra is put on an ambulance. Next, Fallon Henley defeats Blair Davenport after Sol Ruka shows up, distracts Blair, and Fallon gets the victory. Decent match between these two. Next, JC Jane Thea Hale wants to team with JC Jane. She won't team with her next week. It looks like JC is turning on Thea and Chase U. Next, the No Quarter Catch Club come out with the NXT Heritage Cup. William Regal comes out and he brags about the Heritage Cup. His son, Charlie Dempsey, tells him he'll defend it better than he could. William Regal says he's watching. Fun stuff to see a dad and son interact like that on wrestling TV. We've made it to our main event, the number one contendership for the NXT Championship, Tony D'Angelo versus Carmelo Hayes. During the match, Trick Williams' music plays. Tony hits a spine buster and then forget about it. And Tony D'Angelo will move on to take on Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. After the match, Tony D'Angelo apologizes for the stunt, but he has a present for Carmelo Hayes, and that present is a returning Trick Williams who attacks Carmelo Hayes and the security guards surrounding the ring. So decent night here of NXT. Trick Williams shows up back, which is exciting. We'll probably get Trick versus Hayes at Stand and Deliver. A lot of great action. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.